Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. For today's video, I want to talk about something that I find a little bit perplexing. Now, as you can see from the name of my channel, I am part of Generation X. I was born right in the tail end of the 1960s, which puts me at the older end of the Gen X spectrum. My husband, who is 10 years older than I am, is a baby boomer. Now, something that I've noticed is that these generations, the baby boomers and the Gen Xers, have this tendency to boast about the weirdest things. Here's a meme that floated across my Facebook feed the other day, and I'm sure you've all seen variations of this. I survived spankings, lead paint, wooden playgrounds, secondhand smoke, toy guns, no seatbelts or helmets, play without supervision, drinking from the hose. Now, as you would expect, there was a lively discussion in the comments section of this meme, all about how tough the older generations are and how we warriors went through our childhood with reckless abandon and lived to tell the tale. And I'm sure you all know the playbook. There were the comments about how millennials and post-millennials are entitled, whiny, forever complaining crybabies. Okay, I'm going to say something that has to be said. If you are part of the older generation and you're complaining about how bad the younger generations are, maybe it's time for you to take a good long look in the mirror. Here's the thing. In the last 30 years, the cost of college tuition has doubled. The cost of buying a 2-bedroom apartment has more than doubled. You know what hasn't doubled? Minimum wage, average earnings. Some people who work for these corporate giants are being paid so little that they still have to be on some form of social assistance just to get by from day to day. Meanwhile, there is an island of garbage in the ocean that is bigger than France. Between 200 and 2,000 species of animals are going extinct every single year. Income gaps are getting bigger and bigger, and governments are normalizing all kinds of discrimination. Since the Columbine High School shootings 20 years ago, an event that, quite frankly, should have resulted in immediate action, there have been at least 240 shootings in schools in the United States. It has gotten so bad that 6-year-olds are learning what to do if there's an active shooter in their classroom. And that's not even counting the shootings that happen in workplaces, at colleges and universities, at shopping malls, at movie theaters. You guys, I'm kind of thinking the millennials and post-millennials have something to complain about. And let's think for a moment of who has created this situation. They're not the ones who raised tuition prices and set up a system that would keep them in debt for 10 years after they graduated. We did that. They didn't create this real estate environment that makes it impossible for people to buy houses until they're 30. We did that. They're not the ones who have made it easier for a 12-year-old in America to buy a gun than a lottery ticket. They're not the ones dumping garbage into the ocean and killing off the marine life and sitting around arguing about whether things like pollution and racism are really all that bad. We did that. That was us. Look in the mirror. Are the millennials entitled? Yes. They're entitled to live in a world that has not been destroyed. They're entitled to an affordable education. They're entitled to go to school and not be shot to death. Do the millennials complain? Well, yeah, they are loudmouthed and opinionated, and they don't keep quiet when the adults tell them to. And thank God they are the way they are, because these kids are the ones who are going to change the world and fix the damage that we have done. The last thing we need is for this generation to sit down and shut up. These young people are not sitting around acting like victims. They are calling out the older generations for injustice and bigotry. The Parkland shooting survivors, kids who cowered in terror under their desks while they listened to gunshots and watched their friends die. They have spent the last year mobilizing people to vote for change. Some of them have literally put their lives on hold so they can save the generations that come after them. Greta Thunberg is standing up to world leaders, some of whom are absolute bullies. And she is inspiring millions of people around the world to wake up and do something about climate change. Malala took a bullet to the head while she was fighting for the right for girls to attend school. A young girl named Payal Jangid escaped child slavery in India and has used her experiences to become an outspoken advocate for children's rights. My own 13-year-old son, James, is on a mission to do something about the environment by inspiring people to use EV technology to get around. And us? We're sitting around bad-mouthing these kids while we boast about playing cops and robbers as kids, while we fight tooth and nail to resist any positive change that might inconvenience us? Listen, drinking out of a garden hose does not make you a superhero. The fact that you rode a bicycle without a helmet and survived doesn't make you a tough guy. It just means you are lucky. There were many who weren't. Wear your helmets, kids. They save lives. The younger generations are making all kinds of sacrifices to fix this hot mess that we have made of this planet. We shouldn't be attacking them. We should be empowering them. Shame on us. Shame on us.